Rejection is one of the greatest causes of emotional pain. Rejection even triggers the same areas of your brain as physical pain. But why? Why does it hurt so badly? It's because we were not created to be rejected. We were designed for absolute acceptance, belonging, and love. But due to the fall of man in Genesis 3, rejection was one of the unfortunate products of sin. But God, He had a plan to remedy the pain of rejection. Have you ever experienced something so emotionally painful and you just wanted someone to understand your pain? Maybe you feel that way now. One of the longings that we tend to have as humans is the desire to be understood and validated. Jesus understands. Hebrews 4:15 says, "For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize and understand our weaknesses and temptations, but one who has been tempted, knowing exactly how it feels to be human in every respect as we are, yet without committing any sin." Jesus came to this earth as fully God and fully man to live a perfect life for us, to die and rise for us, but to also experience what it's like to be us. He constantly experienced rejection on earth, and people still reject him today. So he gets it, and he wants to sit with you in your pain and bring healing. Think about the woman who had an issue of blood for 12 years, the woman at the well, or the lepers that Jesus healed. They were all rejected by society, but one encounter with Jesus totally changed their lives. He is the same God today as he was then. Invite him into your pain, and he will meet you. Let's talk about how Jesus handled rejection. In 1 Peter 2 and 4, it mentions that Jesus was rejected by people, but he was chosen by God for great honor. In verse 23, it says that Jesus did not retaliate when he was insulted, nor threaten revenge when he suffered. He left his case in the hands of God, who always judges fairly. So 2 key points here. 1, Jesus knew who he was. He knew he was chosen by the Father. He knew that the Father loved him. In the midst of the rejection you have experienced, God wants you to remember who you are. As a follower of Jesus, you have been chosen by God. You are his son or daughter, and what he says about you trumps anything anyone thinks. He adopted you. He fully accepted you, and he calls you his very own. Second, Jesus not only knew that God loved him, but he also knew that the Father is a God of justice who always judges fairly. Think about a child you love dearly. If you saw that child being badly mistreated, you would feel that child's pain, experience a righteous anger, and begin to act to defend that child. In a similar way, God does not take it lightly when you, his child, are rejected. He is fair and just, so he knows how to handle your case fairly. But like Jesus, he wants you to leave the case in his hands. For some of you, the temptation may be to retaliate and seek revenge. For others, the temptation is to internalize the rejection and begin to base your value and worth on what happened, or maybe to worry about your future based on rejection. The pain you feel is real, and it can be hard to release it to God. You can start by simply praying in faith and telling Him that you want to leave it in His hands, but you need help. Also, ask God to expose the lies that rejection has told you, and ask Him to show you how He sees you. Then trust Him. Trust that He will lead you, walk with you, defend you, and heal you.
Way that you love me, I'm at a loss for words, and I'll never leave. Lord, I'm sincerely yours.